Shalom everybody, it's the WyCo Nomad, and we have a travel talk. So instead of you guys actually looking at my face while we go over the 7th tip of apartment preparation, I figure I'd give you a wonderful view of the Columbia River Valley here just outside of Wenatchee, Washington. We are actually heading toward Yakima, and then after that we'll be hitting Boise, Twin Falls, and then rolling back into Cheyenne. So the 7th tip, that is, have a bug-in bag or a bug-in kit. And with that, for your apartment or small space, you want to have a kit set up specifically for bugging in. Now, think immediately, when building this, you want to immediately think bad storm, you're going to be trapped in the house for 3 days. Then expand that to you're going to be trapped in the house for a week. Now, during this time, you're going to have a power outage. So you're going to go 3 days without any power. And that might go through now, it might go through a week without power. So keep that in mind while building this bug-in kit. Pardon me. You're going to need to have medications. You're going to need to have food, water, a way to cook food, a way to purify water. You're going to need lighting. You're going to need a way to charge your things. And if you notice, everything that we talked about leading up to this is all that stuff you need to have. Now, you're building a kit based upon this stuff because we're bugging in. We're not bugging out. There's no imminent threat. We don't have fire. We don't have the Golden Horde. We don't have civil unrest. We can stay in our castle. We can stay where the food is. We can stay where our security is. And obviously, if you're bugging in, you're going to want to maintain your security. You want to have comms. Hopefully you have neighbors that you've already been talking to and that you're friends with, so you can get intel. Intel is going to be extremely important if you're bugging in during a disaster, during turmoil. So you're going to want to have that communications, and eventually down the road, part of this setup, we will have the talk about communications. Your goal when you're bugging in, you stay there, you're safe. You have shelter, you have food, you have all your things. The old concept of soon as something happens, you're going to grab a bug out bag and head up to the... That is a fantasy. That is BS. That is great for prepper novels. But when it comes down to it, you need to stay where you're safe. The point, and now once that safety, that switch flips, that it's no longer safe where you're at, you need to now get out of that particular area. Up until that point, you stay put. You know, there's times that we may actually have to shelter in place again, and we're not going to get into the Charlie Victor 19. I'm never going to do that again. Well, you may actually have to do that again because something really horrible and something really a true threat is imminent, and you may have to PPE up. Keep that in mind. Stop with the absolutes of I'll never do this. It's kind of, that's lack of survival skills right there if you'll never do something. You know, I'll never feed my family. No, I know it's not that bad. That's a horrible thought. You know, of course you'll feed your family. But, sorry, I'm just amazed that we got cherries. These are all cherry trees and everything on the side, and the guy behind me really wants to go fast, and I'm doing 60, so let me bump it up a little bit for him. And on the other side, we have grapes. So we have cherries, we have grapes, because Washington cherries and Washington apples and Washington wine. So, yeah, wine. Sorry, cherries. Okay, I'm sorry, squirrel moment, I digress. But you're gonna want to stay put. You're gonna want to stay safe. You want to have those kits that are readily available. Always keep everything readily available. One reason why is because if things flip and you got to do that, we got to get out, you have your stuff organized and it's there. And prior to this, there's plenty of how to build a bug out bag. I'm never coming home again bag. Honestly, hopefully, if you're never coming home again, you have a bug out trailer and a truck to haul it so you can bring the bulk of your stuff, because you'll be leaving a month to 2 weeks early. Better to leave a month early than a second too late. That's why we pay attention to the intel and watch what's going on. The key here is survival. The key to survival is not putting yourself in dangerous situations that could get yourself killed. Going door to door, kicking down things, playing CQB, that is not survival. That is putting your life on. That's on a long enough timeline. You will delete. Plain and simple. Someone's going to ghost you. It's the law of attrition. So we want to stay at home. We want to have our food, our water. We want to maintain our security because we don't want people entering our area, our AO, that wants to do bad things. That's why we have our security, to protect ourselves and our own. Extremely important. Windsock. Wyoming, that would be, pointing 90 degrees. Here, it's barely even moving. Just notice that. So, but with that, I am the WyCo Nomad. Thank you for listening in on the 7 tips of bugging in, or not this, tip number 7 of bugging in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. You guys know what to do. Those of you that are new members and you joined up, thank you so much. It is greatly appreciated that you took the time to subscribe. Thank you. If you like Kofifi, like me, I love Kofifi. In the description, there is a 20% 20% discount code for Blackout Coffee Company. You can get Kofifi. Also, if you are running low on your antibiotics or your year supply of prescription meds, there is $10 off your order from Refuge Medical. And there we go. Also, throughout the videos, every so often I pop up some Amazon links where you can help the show by purchasing your Amazon purchases through that, and they're usually good things. The only things I put up there are things that I support and like and that I know that are good. Other than that, I'm out. Shalom, blessings to you, and as always, watch your 6. Shalom all.